In the heart of Boston, a major city development project was underway, plans to renovate and expand parts of the old subway system that had long been considered too dangerous or unstable to touch. One specific tunnel, buried deep beneath the city near Beacon Hill, had been sealed off since the 1920s. No official record explained why, just old maps and even older warnings. The construction crew wasn't worried. They were professionals, armed with modern equipment, scanners, and blueprints. The day the sealed tunnel was finally cracked open, the crew cheered. Dust spilled out in a thick wave. A cold wind followed. At first, no one noticed anything strange, just stale air and long-forgotten bricks. They turned on their lights and started setting up equipment. Then someone screamed, not a scream of pain, one of pure shock. Curled up in the far corner of the tunnel was a boy. No older than 8, barefoot, pale. His clothes looked like they came from a different century, short trousers, a button-up shirt with suspenders, and a wool cap. His face was gaunt, and his eyes, they didn't belong to a child. One of the workers stepped closer, trying to help. "Hey, kid, what are you doing down here?" The boy didn't respond. His eyes flicked toward the newly opened wall. He whispered 5 words that dropped the temperature in the tunnel by 10 degrees. "You woke it up. You shouldn't have." Then, right before their eyes, the boy vanished. Gone. No flash, no noise, no wind. Just gone. The tunnel lights flickered, and then died. After the boy disappeared, the city shut the project down immediately. Workers were questioned, drug tested, even accused of staging the whole thing. But none of them cracked. Every man and woman swore by what they saw. News of the tunnel child leaked onto local forums and underground blogs, even TikTok. But it was all dismissed as another urban legend. Except, strange things started happening. Residents near the site complained of vibrations at night, rumbling, low and rhythmic, like something breathing deep beneath the ground. Pigeons stopped nesting in the area. Stray dogs were found dead with frozen expressions and ruptured eardrums. Phones refused to work near the sealed entrance, and the subway trains passing the adjacent line reported unexplained power failures. A Boston historian named Ellis Wakefield, who specialized in early 20th century urban planning, became obsessed. He dug into city archives, flipping through dusty files and crumbling newspapers. What he found chilled him. The tunnel had once belonged to a line nicknamed the Whistler Line, opened in 1918 and closed only 6 years later. Rumors said the line was cursed. Trains would stop mid-track. Lights would explode. Passengers disappeared. And once, in 1923, a subway car full of 15 people entered the tunnel and never came out the other side. The city sealed it quietly. Officially, it was labeled unsafe infrastructure. Unofficially, it became the stuff of whispered warnings. Ellis found a page torn from a conductor's log, dated 2 days before the line was closed. The child's singing again. No one else sees him, but I do. He sits in the last car and hums that same tune. I tried to ask his name, but he only pointed at the tunnel and said, "Don't let it hear you." I'm afraid we're not alone down there. 3 weeks after the tunnel was resealed, a viral video surfaced. A teenage urban explorer named Lucas had broken into the restricted site and live-streamed himself venturing down the tunnel, mocking the legends. "Boston's haunted subway, let's find this ghost kid," he laughed, stepping past the warning signs. But halfway through the livestream, his tone changed. The tunnel around him went unnaturally silent. Not even the sound of water dripping, just silence. Then, on the edge of the flashlight's beam, a figure appeared. The boy, curled in the same position, wearing the same clothes. Lucas whispered, "Dude, he's real." The boy stood up. This time, he looked older. His eyes were glassy, his face thinner. Like he had aged years in weeks. He walked toward the camera and said, "Clearly this time, you broke the seal. Now it's coming." Then the camera shook violently. The screen glitched with static. And Lucas was gone, vanished. His phone was found days later, fried completely. No trace of him was ever found. At this point, the city had no choice. Ellis Wakefield, now leading a private investigation, convinced officials to allow him into the tunnel with a small team of experts. Seismologists, paranormal researchers, and even a priest. Inside, they found something no one expected. Beneath the floor of the tunnel was a hollow chamber, carved in symbols older than any known language. Fossilized bones lined the walls, not human, not animal. In the center, a massive iron coffin, chained and locked with seals marked, "Do not open." One of the chains had snapped. Whatever the tunnel child had been guarding, whatever had kept Boston safe for a century, was beginning to stir. Ellis documented everything: the chamber, the symbols, the missing chain. But nothing could prepare them for what came next. The tunnel child appeared again, this time outside the chamber, staring at the researchers. His skin was translucent now, like a fading photograph. He looked tired, ancient. "I wasn't a boy when I came here," he said softly. "I was a man, a worker, like you. I was part of the team that built this tunnel. We found the thing, and I made a deal to stop it." Ellis stepped forward, stunned. "A deal with what?" The child looked back toward the iron coffin. "Not a demon, not a ghost. It's older, hungrier. It feeds on noise, on footsteps, on breathing. That's why I stayed, why I became this. I had to quiet it. For 100 years, I whispered to it, sang to it, gave it sleep." He turned back, but when the tunnel opened again, it heard the world waking up. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The iron coffin let out a deep, metallic groan. The symbols on the walls flared red, then dimmed. The boy began to fade. "You have to seal it, no matter the cost, or Boston won't be the only city it devours." Then he vanished, for the last time. The city sealed the tunnel in concrete and steel. They buried it deeper than ever before. And no trains have passed near Beacon Hill since. But locals say sometimes, on quiet nights, when the wind is just right, you can hear a boy humming underground. And when you do, don't make a sound. Don't speak, don't breathe, because it's listening, and it's not sleeping anymore.